Well, welcome into the Mark Humble Show. We're glad you're joining us on this Friday night. It's the old Nolan Creek Shootout, Coach. This is what we named it a few years back, the Nolan Creek Shootout. Killeen and Harker Heights, Nolan Creek lays between the two. So it's the old Nolan Creek Shootout. We're ready for the 23rd, 24th edition, huh?
Well, I had no idea it was called that, Dan, so
Yeah.
Thanks for educating me on that. And I know it's been about 4 or 5 years since they've played, so I did not know it was the Nolan Creek Shootout.
So it's the 20th.
So is there a trophy for it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I know we named it that back in the day, so we just kind of rolled with it.
Okay.
Just kind of
Well, you're in charge of the trophy then.
Well, I'll see if I can come up with something
Okay.
for you. But let's go back to last week. Boy, I tell you what, those Midway Panthers came in here, brought the whole town with them, thought they were going to go away with the victory, but the Harker Heights Knights kept the Kingdom safe.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable night, great night. District, opener for both teams, both sides packed, and great support for both sides, and a great football game of two teams, two quality teams, well coached, and that got after it and played 4 quarters, and we were fortunate and earned that victory and came on out on top at the end.
Yeah, and they played very well offensively, defensively. All phases of the game came together for you.
Yeah.
Hudson had a great night.
Yeah.
And then KD had a great night.
Yeah.
But the offensive line, the defensive line, that's what I was watching the other night. Those guys, not only are they big, but they're very, very athletic.
Yeah. If you're going to win in 6A football, you got to be able to control and dominate the line of scrimmage in both offense and defense, and we were able to do that. I was super proud of our offensive line, being balanced in our attack, but both our running backs, Caden Butler and C2 Evans, had an unbelievable night, and they needed to. We needed to control the ball and control the clock. And keep them off balance a little bit. So we're able to do that. Defensive line, we're able to get a huge stop, some pressure when we need it. Probably the play of the game was right before the halftime. Michael Mays, our defensive end, making a huge, unbelievable individual effort to strip the ball where they weren't able to get any points, and we were able to go in a half up 14-10. And so, in the trenches is important, and I think we've got great depth, both offensive line and defensive line. We're rotating about 8 guys defensive line wise, 4 on an interior, 4 at the end, and that allows those guys to play really hard for 4 quarters. And so super proud of our line play. We're going to have to continue that on. It gets tougher as the road goes on.
Yeah, and you've got Killeen High. Of course, you're an old Roo, but it's your night now. And, of course, it'd be nice to be back at Leo Buckley. Same to be on the opposite side, on the visitor side, of course, this week. But they've got a pretty good little quarterback that's tossing the ball around, getting some yardage, a little bit in the running game. Not as much as I think Coach would like over there at Killeen, but they're tossing the ball around pretty good. Your defensive backs are going to have a good night.
Well, they've got a tremendous offense. Coach Saller's doing a great job over there. The leading offense in the district, leading passer, two leading receivers, got a running back that's super talented and is effective in running the football, big, hard to tackle. And so it's a huge test. They're a dangerous football team, that's for sure. They can score within a blink of an eye. And they've got all the right guys defensively in the right spots to make plays. And so it is a talented football team that we're playing.
Yeah, and their defense is just as good. They've given up a lot of points. That's what's given the difference in the ball games. If you look at the points for and points against, they're pretty close, and they're just giving up big plays. That's what's hurt them so far this year, what I've seen.
Yeah, we look forward to the opportunity of playing this Friday, and it wouldn't matter if it was them or somebody else. It's the next opponent on our schedule, and we look to play at a high level on Friday night.
But it's always fun when it's Killeen Harker Heights, isn't it?
Oh, sure, it is. Anytime you play anybody within the district, it's a big game. It should be well supported and a lot of people there, and so that makes it fun. But again, they're vying to get a district win, and we're vying to get a district win also. So it should be a huge battle Friday night at Leo Buckley.
Each one of these wins count, though.
They all count, but these specifically in district play, it helps you get closer to the playoffs, and it helps you get closer to earning a district championship.
And how are things going with the kids staying pretty healthy?
Oh, we're healthy. We had a great week of practice leading up to tonight and the game, and so now all that's left to do out there is go perform. Perform underneath the Friday night lights.
How much does conditioning in the off season, things like that, come into play when you're in the middle, halfway through the football season right now? How much does that come into play? I mean, you come to this point doing really good athletically and physically.
Yeah, starting fall camp in the first couple games, it's important to have that edge on opponents, and I think we have that edge. Continuing on into the season, Dan, we still live 2 days a week, and I think ultimately the way we practice offense, defense, and special teams, and the speed that we practice at, it plays a huge role in our conditioning and our shape, and I think we've been in really great shape. I've been really pleased with our kids and really pleased with the condition that we're in and really pleased at the speed of play that we've been going offense, defense, and special teams. And so that always plays a role. We take great pride in that. As you get further in the season, you should be doing less. The periods get cut a little bit shorter. You're a little more effective, but the speed and the intensity does not change.
If I was to ask you, and I'm going to ask you, who is your unsung hero? Someone that nobody talks about, that just works out every day, is probably one of the hardest guys out there. Nobody ever talks about.
I think offensively, I think our H-back, Jeffrey Anderson, we call him Alaska, is an unsung hero on our offense. I think defensively, unsung hero is Michael Mays. Michael Mays is 6'1", 195 pounds, soaking wet. Should not be playing defensive end on the 6A level, and he's one of our best players because he has the heart of a knight. You can't block him. He will not stop. He'll give you everything that he has. And so I'm super proud of that. And we have a lot of kids like that on our program that just take such great pride in being part of our football program and such great pride in being Harker Heights Knights. I can go on and on. Marcus Scheffler on defense, on every special teams. Jewett Hill. I could go on and on. Those unsung heroes up front, our offensive line. Starting at left tackle with Anthony Hutton, and then you got Marvin Hatcher, Fernando Rodriguez, you got James Kearney, Landon Rangel, then those guys that back him up, that get in for playing time are huge, because we wouldn't be able to do the things we do without those big guys. And then all the other guys that play on multiple special teams that may not be an offense or defensive starter. And so we're blessed to have a big roster. We're blessed to have a lot of kids in our program, but it's for things like that they're proud and they buy into the notion of being part of something bigger than themselves. It's not about starts, and it's not about being all district, and it's not about a bunch of stats, and it's not about having all these individual highlights. It's really comes down to the success of the team, because what we preach here is, team success comes before individual success. If your team has great success, it's just going to be a natural byproduct that a lot of individuals are going to get a lot of individual accolades.
Well, we are ready for you to ride into Leo Buckley Stadium.
Well, we're ready to go.
In full armor.
Yeah, ready to go.
Full armor, ready to go. Going to bring the whole town with you.
We'll bring the whole town. We look to pack the visitor side and bring our whole experience and our whole team and our whole culture to Friday night to play at a high level tonight.
And what hat will Mr. Dominguez be wearing tonight?
I have no idea.
Interesting story. I'll tell you later.
Yeah, no doubt. So appreciate you, Dan. Go Knights, rep the shield.